Are you lazy? Well, not compared to me, you're not. I have completely accepted our AI overlords and have figured out how to do two things. One, I have figured out how to implement AI into my work, which is this. Two, I figured out how to implement AI into studying, which is also this. I work and I go to school. These are the two things that I do with my life, and figuring out ways to do them easier is worth a lot to me. AI has helped figure out ways to do things faster, summarize things, and also just help me understand material better in school, but also how to be more efficient on the job. So whether you are working or going to school or just nothing, you're artistic, you do things for fun, apparently this helps with that too. I've tried to write scripts with AI and they're almost always awful for what it's worth, so at least you know this is real. First things first, I'm sponsored by none of these, in case you can't tell by my lack of overall, subscribers. None of this is endorsed, sponsored. These are just things I actually use in my life. First is something called Note, which is a play on the word note. It's actually really simple, but it looks confusing. It does lots of things that are fun, but I also use it to study languages, and I use it to study subjects. So it's a system that learns the way you think and allows you to think better. Planets, right? Well, say I'm in astrology, is that, I don't know, whatever, astronomy. That's what people use to learn planets in the normal, real way. The way I do this is I will type, you can say, what is the red planet? And then now you can ask, what is the red planet to AI? And it will say, what is the red planet? Not red. Red. Mars is often referred to as the red planet due to its reddish appearance caused by iron oxide on its surface. So this allows you to do things fast. If you think of something, oh, I wonder what this could be, you can just fill in the gaps with AI. Super fun when you're making cards and sharing them with other people and they're like, oh, I didn't think of that. Where did you find that answer? I just am smart. The second thing I use is something called you.com. You might see ads on this on the internet. I actually think it's super useful, but it mostly sucks. They have a paid version, which is cheaper if you're a student, but it has multiple things. For one, it has smart, which is useless. It's the worst of option. There's genius, which is like an attempt to think through multiple steps. It's also awful. There's GPT-4, which is actually a lot of different options. 1 second on that. There's research, which is supposed to give you sources and look at things on the internet. This is awful. It doesn't do things well. Most of my conversations are just arguing with these other options. In Create, I don't create things, so I have no idea if it's useful. Honestly, all you need is this middle option, which has multiple different ChatGPT language models. When using these different models, you can do things like create tests, like say, hey, this is the subject matter material, or what's best, upload files to this thing and have it create tests from the flashcards or the notes or the video script. So you can actually get pretty good example tests, which is really where the money is to do lots of practice questions and have it explain why you're wrong, usually wrong. And subsequently, you really start to learn the material. But I've made a list of all the different kinds of chat models and whether they're useful, what they're useful for, and to be honest, some of them are pretty bad and some of them are actually amazing at different tasks. The first and foremost is the GPT-4 / Turbo, which apparently is better. This is by OpenAI. This is my second place choice overall. It is the OG. Its strengths are powerful text generation, translation, question answering. Turbo is faster and more cost effective. You just pay one cost for this thing, so I don't know if I care about that. Weaknesses are potential bias and limited knowledge of recent events. So apparently this is outdated or something, and I've had it make up stuff before. So I'm a lawyer. This one I've asked it legal questions and it will dude, it will give me something perfect. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. But I can't find that case. It's like, oh, it's because it doesn't exist. And I'm like, so you lied to me, and it will apologize. It will beg for mercy, but it's wrong. It's really strong, but it's not reliable. Potential job applications, in my opinion: content creation, customer service, education, and training. So these are things that it can be used to automate things that you might not want to deal with. So if people are asking you questions, it's actually really fast at getting you a generally accurate answer. Cloud 2, Cloud 3, Opus, Sonnet, Haiku. This is by Anthropic. This is my favorite. I think these are the best. According to Anthropic, it is an AI safety and research company based in San Francisco. Our interdisciplinary team is experienced across ML, physics, policy, product. Together, we generate research and create reliable, beneficial AI systems. I copied this from their website, mind you. Strengths are excellent reasoning, in my opinion, math problem solving, knowledge-based question answering. Opus is the most powerful of all these options, but Haiku prioritizes speed and efficiency for literally what it's talking about. It's great at poetry. If you want something that's a bit more creative-based, Sonnet will do that, but it will lie to you more. One thing that's really weird is I tried to think, when I was first trying to make videos, I thought, what if I write out a script and then I put that script into the one that's like creative? And it just started making things up that I didn't say. It was more interesting in some regard, but it was just like factually wrong. So again, I'm still doomed to making my own videos until the AI overlords do this for me. I think this is great. I think it has a more limited access to information than GPT, but it's better at reasoning, so I think it still comes ahead. It's great for math problems, complex topics, understanding and challenging concepts. It actually does help me reason through. I will argue with it about a legal situation or like a medical topic to see if I'm right, and honestly, it's a lot of fun to beat it. Research and analysis, data science, engineering, legal professions are the potential job applications, in my opinion. Gemini is Google's thing, and this is my favorite for like large things because it has the largest ability to read long form content, but it struggles and gets confused if you talk to it for too long. It excels in factual language tasks, code generation, and 1.5 utilizes a mixture of experts, so MOE architecture, for efficiency. I don't know what that means, but sounds cool. Limited understanding of a lot of things is a weakness. It's great at code, factual topics, and summarizing long information. Software development, engineering, technical writing and documentation, financial analysis, consulting, all things I think it could be helpful for. Microsoft has DBRX Instruct, which sounds like a bike. Fast, efficient, particularly in code generation, which is something I don't really understand. It's not really that widely known or easily accessible outside of stuff like this. It's honestly for like learning programming languages, generating code examples, and understanding complex code structures, which I don't know anything about. So I think this is good for programming and development, data engineers, and database administration, maybe. Cohere has made something that they call the leading enterprise AI platform. Cool. The strengths are that it focuses on instructions and completing tasks accurately, which actually is a pretty big plus because AI doesn't follow instructions very well, in my opinion. It has limited creative text formats and open-ended generation. It's good at organizing schedules and setting reminders, managing tasks, because it follows what you're saying kind of to like almost a annoyingly anal level of explicitness. It's good for product management, administration, executive assistance. I think if you wanted to do like a mass scheduling thing, if you had a lot of employees, this actually would be good at following. Don't do this with so-and-so. Llama 3 is Meta's thing that's kind of popular right now. I haven't really tried it, but it's the other big AI sphere that's having like weird legal problems. That's kind of interesting. It's open source and designed for research and experimentation, so I think it requires maybe more technical expertise, which is like a weakness, but maybe a strength depending on who you are. It's good for exploring other language models, conducting research and experimenting with applications. This is for really hardcore AI people. Go nuts. Zephyr, which is, I think, is that like the god of wind or something? Or maybe uncensored, not for like corn, you know what I mean? It's just that it's not regulated. It's made by Hugging Face, and they're actually kind of old in terms of like AI sourcing. It's a French-American company based in New York that develops computation tools for building applications using machine learning. I think this is the rogue of the group. It's great for generative creative use, like ventures, but it also is totally unfiltered and will just, I don't know what you're gonna get. It's oftentimes making stuff up too, but if you're maybe a little sneaky, maybe a little not following the rules, this thing will just, fine, yeah, I'll help you. I will help you find the nearest drug dealer. Outputs may not be suitable for all audience and purposes, because I think it it's risky. It's good for exploring creative writing, brainstorming ideas, experimenting with narratives. I think this is great for creative writing, art, and design because it will really help you, probably stealing from people, but despite plagiarizing other great authors, it will help you figure out how to be one yourself or pretend to be one. So that's really it. Those are the things I use for work and for studying. It's not a lot, but I actually think this is all you need. A lot of this has a free version, which is still pretty powerful, but they're not really that expensive, and I think the value you get out of it is worth it. Again, not sponsored. These are just my genuine takes. So either way, that's how to be an AI connoisseur. Thank you for watching, and I hope you figure out how to do things in the lazy way. See y'all.